Alright, so now for persisting our cart items data locally, we'll work on this thing. So we are going to use SQLite database, the local database. So in this fresh veg cart, this .NET MAUI app, we are going to add NuGet packages. So manage NuGet packages. Here we need two packages. One is SQLite Net PCL, which is the official package. SQLite Net PCL 17.1 million. Let's install it. By the way, how to work with this SQLite database in .NET MAUI applications, I already have videos on my channel. I would recommend you guys to check those videos out to understand properly how these things work and how to implement all these things. I'm going to drop the links of those videos in the description box. So this one, connect .NET MAUI app to SQLite database. It is a two-part series. Here I have explained everything related to the SQLite database. And if you don't want to use raw SQL, if you want to use EF core with this, for that also I have a video I need to find. So that video is also on my channel. So I'm going to drop link of that video as well. We can use EF core with SQLite database in our .NET MAUI application. Okay. So in this particular video, we are going to use bare one, the without EF core. We are going to use simple SQLite. Something happened. I installed it, right? Install. Yeah. And after this SQLite Net PCL, we need SQLite PCL raw bundle underscore green, this package. So we need these two packages. Latest pre-release. No. Let's remove this pre-release. Let's see what version we have right now. Pay attention, we need this bundle green, not this one EX bundle green. Let's see, it has 72.3 million downloads. Okay, this one, let's install, apply, and now we are good. So we have installed our SQLite related packages. We will have two packages, right? SQLite Net PCL and SQLite PCL raw dot bundle underscore green. Cool. Save it. Now we have this data where we have our cart model. If you remember, we created this. Now let's convert this cart model to be a SQLite entity. Everything is fine. We just need to add the key here. That key should come from primary key from SQLite. That's all what we need. You can add other data annotations on all of these things, but I'm okay with this. Now this amount, we don't want to store this amount in the database. For this, we can use ignore attribute, which comes from SQLite only. Okay, ignore, like navigating to definition from SQLite. Yes. So if we add ignore, then this will not be a part of the database table. All right. So save everything. Now we are good. Now we'll quickly create our database helper or database context, whatever name we want to give it. We can name it, or let's say call it database service. Database service like this. What happened? Why it is so slow now? Public class database service. Okay. Now here, let's create its constructor, and inside constructor only, we are going to have database path. We'll call it database db path. We'll say path dot combine. Here we can get our file system dot app data directory. This is our app data directory. Here we can simply directly add our database file. So database name, we can have it here, private const string database name. It could be anything. We have fresh veg part dot db3. Here we are going to use this name, database name. Our db path is ready. Now we need to create a SQLite async connection. Okay, so we'll say var connection equals new SQLite async connection. In this, we need to provide connection string, database path, then SQLite open flags. So we are going to use this one. Okay. So database path, this we have DB path, then SQLite open flags. So let's add. We are going to have multiple flags. This is an enum with flags attribute, so we can have multiple using OR operators. So SQLite open flags dot create. It can create the database, read write, and let's use shared as SQLite open flags shared cache. Save it. Now we will use this connection. So let's have it outside as a private read only field. We'll say private read only SQLite async connection underscore connection, and here we'll simply define this connection. Okay. Now inside this we are going to have our methods. Okay. So we have only one entity, so we just need to save the item, remove single item, and clear an entire table and get list of those items, right? We need all these operations. Okay, so first thing we'll check if the table exists or not. So for this we can simply have a private async task. We'll say create table if not exist, something like this. Okay, now here we know that we are dealing with only one cart model, only one entity, so I'm just going to create this tightly coupled with cart model only. But you can make it generic. And how to make it generic? You will have only one class file and you can use this for all your database entities and all that. I already have the video I mentioned, so I'm going to drop the link. You can check that video out to understand all these things in detail. Okay, here we'll say await connection dot create table async. Okay, table, not tables, create table async. We can provide t, which is going to be the table model. So create table async and our create table if not exist ready. Okay, now let's have all of things. First thing we'll say public async task add item to cart. Okay, and we are going to have cart model as a parameter to this. All right, in this first thing we'll simply check, or maybe let's not have this here. We know we have only one table, so we can simply create this from this database service only. Do we have non-async version as well? Let's quickly underscore connection dot. We don't. Okay, let's do this. Create table if not exist. We can call this from here only. Maybe not. I don't want to call it from everywhere. That's why I'm just trying to think where can we have it. Maybe let's make it as public, and then maybe we'll simply initialize it, or let's call it initialize database, something like this. Initialize database sync, something like this, and we'll call it from somewhere, from app startup or anything from there only. All right, now add item to cart. We have cart model. Here we can say await context dot, not context, connection dot, we have insert async, this method. And here we can provide our model directly. Okay, we are good. It returns task of int if the operation was successful, how many rows it has inserted, it will return these. Okay, so if you want to handle something, you can simply have maybe return int from here, you can handle that thing. Or maybe you can have simple bool here, and then you will return if it was greater than 0, then it will be true. So things like this you can do. Happen return, it should be return and this thing. like this. Okay, for me, I'm not concerned about all these things, so we can simply have just do the operation, nothing else. Let's do this at single line. Okay, then we'll have public async task update cart item, update cart item async. We'll say cart model add item to cart async, something like this. Update cart item or add cart item, it should be this add cart item async, update cart item async. So for this update, we can simply say connection dot update async model. Here it should have that id already, else it will simply give us exception, but we already have these things, so we are okay. After that, we can delete cart item, right? For this, public async task delete cart item. Here we can have cart item id. Okay, then we'll simply say connection dot delete async cart item id. But now we need to tell what type of item it is. That means what table we are going to delete this id from. So this is going to be cart model. After this, we are going to have public async task. We want to clear the entire cart. Here we'll say clear cart async. Okay. Here we can say await context dot delete all async, and the type is going to be cart model. And with this, I guess we are done. We have all our methods ready. Okay. Now we have this connection. We just need to dispose it when this service goes out of the scope. So for this, we can simply inherit this from iasync disposable. We can implement this interface. At the very end, we have this dispose async. Here we can check if underscore connection is not null. We can say connection dot dispose. What was it? Close async. Close the connection. So we'll say await close connection, and we are going to have async here. Save, and we are good. Our database service is ready. We just need to register it. We are going to register it as singleton. We want only single instance of this throughout our app. Database service, and using database service. Now we need to call this database service initialize method on app startup. So we can go to app.xaml.cs here. Okay, we can inject our database service here, database service, and then in here only we can call our database service dot initialize database async, and we are not going to await it. So it will simply kind of fire and forget, it will be initialized. Okay. Do we have any other method here which we can see? Activate window, cleanup, on start. Yeah, we can maybe try on start. Can move it here, and we can await it like this. So this is going to be create and assign a field database service with underscore prefixed, and we are good with this. Okay, let's move it downwards. The order does not matter, but let's have it like this. Okay, now we have our database service ready. We just need to consume it, and we are going to consume it in our cart service. In our service, we have our cart service. So here we are going to inject our database service. Do we have a constructor? No, right? No, we don't. So let's quickly add our constructor here. Add database service in it. So database service, database service, and let's have underscore prefix here. Now we are good. Okay, let's go to all our methods. Here we are in increase quantity. If cart item is null, we are adding the cart item to this current item. So that means this is the place where we need to call add cart item async to this cart item. So we'll add it first in the database, then we'll add it in the current item. Increase quantity, this is going to be async task. Save it. Now for this case, we are going to call update method. Update cart item async, right? Because now we are modifying the quantity of the existing item, right? Same thing we will do in the decrease quantity. So here, if this is null, we don't need to do anything. If we are here, if it comes to this case, remove. In this case, we will remove this item from the database as well. So we'll say await database service dot delete cart item, and we'll remove this cart item dot cart item dot id. That means cart item id. If that's not the case, in else case, we are going to update this cart item because right now we have updated quantity. Alright, this should be async task. Then go to the next, increase cart quantity. Here also we are increasing the quantity. So we'll simply say update, make it async task, make this as well async task, and we'll update the quantity. That means we'll update the database value here, and in this remove we are going to remove the item. We'll say remove, or what was it, delete cart item dot cart item id. Okay, here we are deleting it. Then we have remove item, single item removal. Let's have it as remove, or let's say delete cart item. So cart item dot id, cart item id. Save it. Then we have clear cart async. So here we are clearing the cart. So item dot clear, and we'll say await. Let's copy this. We'll say clear cart async without any parameter. Copy this. Now this clear cart. Here also we need to call that. Now it can't be just async. This should be sync task. Save it. And we are good. Cool. Now let's change all these consumers. We are using this increase quantity and all, right? Now these are async methods. So let's have these async, or not like this. Let's do this async, decrease quantity async. Then we have this increase cart item quantity async, decrease cart item quantity async, remove item async, clear cart async. We already have clear cart async, and these two are going to be identical. So for this one, first clear cart, let's say after place order async. Okay, so now the names are different. Cool. Save everything. We are good now. So if we try to look all the consumers, we have shared cart button. From here we are calling these methods, right? Increase quantity async. So now this increment, this will be async task. Here also let's call it increment async, and we'll await it. Same thing here, we'll say sync task, decrement async, and we'll await it. Okay, save. Then we'll go to our cart page. Page is cart page. Here we are having methods. Where are these? We have place order async. In here, we are going to have this clear cart after place order async. So we'll await it. Save. Apart from this, if we see here on top, continue checkout is fine. Clear cart async, okay. Here we are okay. These are tasks. So await and all this will be handled by these on clicks. Cool. So we are good. Now we are persisting these data. But when we are coming to the application, in this cart service, we need to have one method here which will initialize the cart items, right? So these items right now by default, these are blank. We should have a method by which when app is starting up, it will simply go to the database and fetch all the items and it will add here. Okay. For this, let's have public async task initialize cart async. Okay. Here we are going to have cart items equals await database service dot. I didn't create any method for fetching the cart items. We should have some method to get all the cart items. Initialize, add cart, update, delete, clear, dispose. Let's create one method here. We'll say public async task get cart items async. Here we have await underscore connection dot table. Table is cart model, and on this we can directly say to list async. Now it is going to return us list of cart model. We'll say task list of cart model. Right now let's go to here initialize cart. We will say database service dot initialize, not initialize, get cart items async, and we can directly assign these items to this. Okay. And after doing this, we can directly call notify count changed. Someone is interested in this, they will know that we have modified the count. Well, let's save everything. Now we just need to call this initialize cart async. And this thing we can call from app.xml.cs only, where we are doing this initialized database. Here only we can say underscore cart service, right? Cart service, create and assign a field with underscore prefixed. And here we'll say underscore cart service dot initialize cart async. With this, save it. Let's try it. We have done a lot of things. We have been typing for so long. We have some error. Cart button increment. We change these names, right? So increment async and decrement async and increment async one more time. Save it. These were the errors only, right? Decrement, cart service, cartways, app.xml.cs. Yeah, I am restarting. Okay, app is here. Let's now try to add items to the cart. Something is not right. Something is not right. Hmm. Output. Yes, we have some error. SQLite, cart model, cart item ID, unique constraint failed. Yes, this is a problem. Stop. We need to fix this error. What just happened when for initially we are having this add cart item async, We are adding the item to the cart. Now this model, it has updated ID, but we didn't update that ID back to this cart item. No, it should have that. Yeah, it should have been here because these are passed by reference. Let's do this. Let's put a breakpoint here and we'll see. Oh, no, 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 no. The error was different, right? Error was not for this. Sorry, my bad. Error is, where is it? Unique constraint failed. That's because if we check our cart model, we added primary key, but we did not add identity, or in this SQLite, we call it auto increment. So now what happened? It got inserted with ID 0. Okay. And when it got inserted with ID 0 the first time, and then we tried to add it again, then also the new item with the same ID 0, it tried to insert and then it failed because primary key, two items can't have the same primary key. So we are going to have auto increment here. It will automatically going to generate these IDs for. We don't need to worry about it. Now inside the database, let's maybe change this name. Start one so that we have the fresh database. Let's start again. Let's see then. We should have some exception handling in database service as well so that we would know that okay, something happened here. Right now it just failed silently. Yeah, maybe you can try that as well. Have some centralized exception related stuff. Let's wait for it to run. Let's see. Oh, breakpoint. Let's remove the breakpoint. Continue. What is happening? Why it is so slow? We have one item. We have two items. Let's add. We have again. So total 8 items. Let's go to the very end. Last item as well. I'm adding it. Now we have these 9 items. Wait. We have these 9 items. We can go to the cart page and we can see these 9 items. Now let's restart. Now we should see these 9 items. Right now, these will not be on the home page. These will not be selected because we don't have that logic yet. But on cart page, we should have these. Let's see. Okay, we are here. Here we can't see any item selected, but if you see on cart, we have 9 items selected. If we go to the cart page, we can see all these 9 items. That means our database related stuff is working. Okay, let's try placing this order. Place order. Items got cleared and we are good. All right. So database is working. Now let's just fix that home page stuff. So we'll go to the home page on not help home page. We have our items here in this products. Here only we'll see if these products are part of the current cart or not. So for this, let's inject our cart service. Inject cart service, and we will have less item in cart service, more item in products. So we should have loop. What we'll do, we will simply have a loop if for cart item in cart service dot items. Okay, or maybe let's say cart service dot items dot select. We'll simply have the c dot product id. That's only we are going to get. So here we'll say simple product id. All right, then we will try to find this product in our underscore products dot first or default p dot id equals this product id. If this product is not null, that means this we have this thing, so we'll say product dot quantity equals, and we have a problem. It should not be product id, it should be entire product. Just product. Here we'll say not product, it should be cart item. Cart item dot product id, it should be cart item dot product id. And here we'll say product dot quantity equals cart item dot quantity, right? For each. What is happening? It is very slow actually. I don't know why. Visual Studio is very slow. So we have products, then we are simply getting the items from the cart and we are just simply verifying whatever item we have in cart. We will simply assign that quantity to the product in the current products list, what we are seeing on the home page. Now we should have the correct behavior. Let's try to run it. See. Okay, so we are here. Let's try to add some items. We added these two items and let's say cucumber, four items, green beans, two items, total eight items in the cart. Go to order screen. Now let's go back to home screen. We can see these items one. Let's go to the cucumber. We have four items, green beans, we have two items. That means we can see these items now. We can quickly try to restart to check these items. There will be there in the cart that we already tested, and the count should be there on the home screen as well. Okay, we are here and we can see these. You see the counts are already there. Great. So with this, we have our database persistent related logic also ready. We have worked on everything. We have worked on login, register, home page, adding items to the cart, then on cart page, handle these cart items here, clear cart, placing the order, then order screen, order details, and after that we have profile, edit profile, change password, manage addresses. With all these address, edit address, add new address, and delete address as well. Go back and on help page. So we have worked on all the pages. So now everything is working fine. Our app is fully functional now. Now there is one thing, if you remember, I mentioned that we are having API calls scattered around all these components and everywhere. And if there is any error, we are not properly handling the API related errors. So we need to have some common place where we can handle our errors. So these API related errors basically. Okay, so that we are going to do next.